Hey there. Hello. Happy Wednesday. Today, I want to share with you what I think is the missing piece of a success strategy. So, if you have been at a place where you just feel like you can't break through to that next level of success, whatever that next level might be for you, right? What if it could be trying to get your business off the ground entirely? It could be trying to get out of feast or famine. You're stuck at an earnings plateau. You're stuck at a plateau of getting your message out. Whatever you perceive that next level of success to be, I know how frustrating it can be to be trying everything you can think of to have a breakthrough, right? You grasp at bright, shiny objects because some guru told you this is the latest must-have tech tool. This will answer all your problems. You might have bounced from course to course and program to program because some guru convinced you that they had the magic beans that you needed to have that breakthrough that you dream of and frankly that you deserve. But you're just not seeing, hey, Duncan Moss, you're just not seeing the difference that you want to make, right? The difference that you expected. And I know I can get a big dent on my forehead from banging my head against the wall. I know how frustrating and it can be. And, there are times when it can make us feel discouraged. Do I even really want to keep doing this? Maybe I should just settle for where I am and be thankful that I am at this point. It can make us frankly feel sad and discouraged. And you're just wondering, should I really even keep going and keep trying and doing more of what I'm doing? And it might even cause you to keep throwing money at the problem by buying some solution, buying some program, buying some books. But what's true is 92% of the public have goals that they can't reach. I think it's something like 95% of people, maybe 97% of people buy courses that they don't finish. And rumor has it, I can't remember the exact number, 85% or more of people buy books and don't finish them. So we're a world full of people who don't quite finish what they start, and there are lots of reasons for that. So the real problem, and I've been wrestling with this myself as I try to get my own business to that next level of success, and as I work with clients, what am I saying? The real problem is how you see yourself. It's your identity. So I'm Winnie Anderson. I am a business achievement strategist and an implementation specialist. I work with introverted, mission-driven solution providers, coaches, consultants, authors, experts, healers, and I help them get the courage, clarity, and confidence they need to take that next step, to take action, implement what they know they need to do in order to reach that next level of success. So in this video, what I want to do is talk about this problem in a little bit of depth and explain the three pieces that you need to address that will help complete this missing overall piece that's part of your success strategy. I've talked about some of these elements before, but this is just a giant epiphany that I had, and I want to share this with you. So as you come in, Duncan said hello. So nice to hear from you, Duncan. Please say hi and feel free to ask any questions, make any comments. Even if you're watching this on replay, I always circle back and respond. I will also post links to any resources or tools that I mentioned that I think may help, and I'll post them in the comments once this video is over. And this is part of the part of my show, The Courageous Entrepreneur. So the Courageous Entrepreneur show airs on Mondays, and then on Wednesdays, I'm here on Facebook doing a live video. I call it the after show. I know I stole that from Oprah, but hey, steal from the best. So the after show is where I take a concept that was brought out in the episode for the week, and I kind of amplify this. So in this week's episode, I had a great interview with R.L. Chance, who goes by Chance. His full name is Randrick. So Randrick talked to Winifred, and we had a great conversation. Chance is such an awesome speaker, presenter, and he's actually a pastor, and you can hear that, I think, in a lot of his messaging. He has a great story of entrepreneurial success, and what he was sharing were selections from his book that he refers to as success strategies. So I've been thinking about this topic a lot. I work with my clients on these exact things. You know, we know what to do cognitively, so why aren't we doing it consistently? So as I was thinking about that and thinking about what really needed to be amplified out of this episode, it just sort of slapped me in the face as one of the most important pieces, if not the most important piece, to help you transition to that next level of success. And I don't care where you are now and where you're trying to be. This is really one of those crucial keys, right? So again, share this with your connections so they can get this information too. Ask questions, make comments. If I share anything that leads to an insight moment for you, a big slap on the head, you can use hashtag AHA, and then whatever that insight was that you want to share, could be something I said, could be a light bulb moment for you. So share that with all of us. I would really appreciate that. All right, so the problem here is really how you see yourself. That's it. That's the problem. Think about this. If you are trying to get to this next level of success, but you don't have the self-image that matches that level of success, you're not going to get there. Because what will happen is you will actively hold yourself back. You know what? I'm using the fabulous Be Live app, and I'm not even bringing in my fabulous show notes that I have here on the screen for you. So the answer to this problem is to change your identity. And I don't mean to get, plastic surgery or wear a mask or anything like that, but you want to change how you see yourself. When you change how you see yourself, then others begin to respond to that energy, and they'll see you in a different way as well. And as you change your own identity, your behavior changes to be in sync with that identity. So let me share a little bit more about this. First of all, let's think about, well, what the heck is identity anyway? Identity is really made of the things that you tell yourself about who you are at your essence, but also just in general, right? It's what you tell yourself about yourself. So that means it's a giant part of your beliefs. That's where your identity is rooted. It's your beliefs. But the problem with that, they're not even your beliefs half the time, more than half the time. Because what happens is, obviously we're born. And as we start interacting with the world around us, we're little sponges, right? From the time you got babies, and there's even the theory that babies absorb what is around them and outside of them. So as we're born, we start absorbing messages from the world around us. So as we then begin to grow, the sponge gets bigger, and we start to really latch on to the environment, to things that are said to us, things that are said around us, the media that we're exposed to, right? The little kids that are plopped in front of the TVs and things that they see, we're absorbing this. So as you start to hear things like you're ugly, you're stupid, you can't do that, you start hearing no, you start having people take things away from you and start doing things instead themselves. You start to form these beliefs about yourself and about the environment and the world at large. It starts to inform what you focus on, and it informs the conclusions you come to. And yes, as a little person, you come to conclusions, and you are absorbing all of this. So the other piece is, right, it's your beliefs, it's what you're saying. It's also what you're seeing and what you're looking at. So we know people who on a sunny day with some clouds, they'll focus on the clouds, right? So what are you focusing on and what are you looking at? So let's talk about these three components to changing an identity. And as I said, I'm using the fabulous BeLive app. So I'm trying to keep track of showing you my little lower thirds here. Or chirons, I think they're called in big media. Anyway, three components to changing your identity. I think the easiest to start with, although this is challenging, is verbal, right? What you're saying out loud and to yourself. So there's the combination of the self-talk and then the things that you vocalize and really give voice to. So think about this when you look in the mirror, and this is tied to the next piece, which is visual. What do you say about yourself? Right? What do you say about yourself? Let's say, give me another example real quick. Let's say you drop things. This is a good one. You drop things, right? We all drop things. What do you say about yourself when you drop something? I have a friend who, I've been with her when she's dropped something. She's called herself an idiot. Or she said, I'm a klutz. Because you dropped something? How are you a klutz? Because you dropped something. How are you an idiot? Because you dropped something. Right? We all drop those things. Why does that even require an editorialized comment from you? You dropped it. All right, well, sorry, I didn't mean to drop it, right? Okay, you pick it up. Where does that come from? Obviously, it comes from somewhere in the past. It comes from the environment. Somebody called you an idiot at some point. Somebody told you were a klutz, right? So we then start this judgment about ourselves and just start tuning in to the things that you say to yourself in your head. And then, there are times when you talk to yourself, right? We all do it. What do you verbalize? Then start tuning into the things that you think and say about the environment, about what you're trying to do, about the project that you're working on. What are you verbalizing? And then catch yourself in the moment and say, where did that come from? Where did I get that? Because, and I'm not going to get into a whole big history thing here, but there are times when you made mistakes in the past. You're probably going to make them again. It's the judgment that you place on that and the label then that you retain that ends up clouding the perception you have of yourself. So then as you move forward and you're trying to take action, this dialogue or monologue really is going on in your head, and it will actively hold you back. So a poor self-identity will lead to self-sabotage. It will lead to not taking action, which in my opinion is self-sabotage. it leads to resistance. It leads to not achieving what you want. So we're looking at verbal. What's the other one? Visual. What are you seeing when you look in the mirror and when you see the world around you? Let's focus on ourselves, right? Because we're talking about identity. What do you see? Right? I know as a woman, and as a woman of a certain age, we have a tendency to focus on our flaws. There's a great commercial out there, a commercial series done by Dove, the bar soap people, beauty product people. And they did a series of commercials where a person described themselves and often said bad things about themselves. Then they had other people describe that person who sang their praises and who talked about how pretty they were and how, that was the person who did the drawing, right? That person was talking to an artist who was doing a drawing. So we often focus on our flaws, and it takes other people to recognize our qualities. And they don't have to be physical, right? Because I'm talking about your business here and work. So again, what do you tell yourself about that? So when somebody says, oh, you look nice today, or, hey, that was a great article that you wrote, that was a great whatever it was that you did, what do you do? Do you push that praise away and say, oh, I was lucky, or, oh, this isn't even mine, somebody gave it to me? Do you minimize these things? You want to make sure that you are focusing on all the great things about you. And this is really hard because for decades, we've been conditioned that there's something wrong with us. We look in the mirror and what do we see? The scared child that we once were. We see the corporate professional who was beaten up and bullied by peers or those we worked for. I worked with some bosses, I won't diagnose them, but let's say they were mean. At a minimum, they were total nut jobs. And I had one boss who told me, this is what she said to me, and I still remember it. You're not very creative, are you? Where did that come from? And where's creativity in my job description, by the way? And where did I not succeed where you wanted me to be creative? But that haunted me for a long time. In high school, I tried to take an art class. And what did my guidance counselor say? You don't want to waste time with that. You're not artistic. I know, but I thought it'd be fun, right? So we hear these things and they become part of our self-image because we value the statements of others more than we value our own beliefs and our own opinion. This is why we spend so much time looking outside of ourselves for the answer. And I'm not saying don't take classes, don't learn. That's not what I'm saying, because I'm a big believer in education. I teach courses, come on. So I'm a big believer in education, but the key here is implementation and achievement. It's taking action, right? So, okay, so we're looking at what do you see? So in a post that I put out to promote this little video here, I said this was can what you share with Batman and Wonder Woman and any other superhero. So let me explain where this comes from. So think about the superheroes that are your favorites, right? For me, it's Batman, Spider-Man, Superman, and Wonder Woman. Those are my faves. Now, when you think about it, Batman probably had the most mask on, right? Most of his face was covered, so he just had the chin. But hey, it's still his voice. Come on, that's him. That's Bruce Wayne. Superman, he had a pair of glasses, and he was Clark Kent. That's what makes so. And Wonder Woman, she just had her, like, she let her hair down and had some gold hairband. Linda Carter, that's my Wonder Woman. She had some gold hairband on her head. And now Peter Parker, he had a good costume, totally hit him, but still the voice was the same, right? So visually, with Clark Kent, it's just a pair of glasses, and he goes from Superman to, no, I'm hidden, I'm Clark Kent. But he also had, all have these fabulous outfits that they wear, right? So are you looking the part? And I'm not look, I don't have a suit on. I have a, navy blue shirt on, navy blue, my core brand color. So, but you have to ask yourself, am I seeing a superhero when I look in the mirror, or am I seeing the person who is hiding their identity? So you want to start doing things with your own identity that communicate to you that you are the leader that you're striving to be, that you are the CEO that you're striving to be, right? So this is where environment becomes such an important piece of helping you achieve your goals and reach that next level of success and fully step into the courage to achieve your goals and the confidence, right? So you've got visual, you've got verbal, what you say. Next is energetically, right? So now when I'm talking about energy, I'm talking about a sense of urgency. I'm talking about priority management, and I'm talking about goal attainment is really what that all falls under, right? So energy, urgency, priority management. It's not about time management. It's about managing the priorities. You're only getting 24 hours. Sorry. I've tried asking for more. I'm not getting it. You're not getting it either. So that means it's a matter of priority management. Are you focusing on the 8 strategic actions that entrepreneurs need to take every single day? Right? Priority management. So we know sacrifices have to be made sometimes, right? Sometimes we just get ourselves into a jam, or because things happen, right? I had some tech issues earlier in the week, always throws off my schedule. Then you also have, you have these priorities that are family, right? Too often I've had clients complain about commitments to their family when that's the whole point of why I got into business, right? So you can have the freedom to spend more time with your family. Again, not that sacrifices don't have to be made, but are you managing your priorities, or are you allowing yourself to get into resistance, to procrastinate, to avoid taking action? This is what I mean by energy. So you have 24 hours in a day. You have to sleep for some of them, right? Then you got other stuff that you've got to take care of, right? You have to have you want to have some time with your friends, your family. You want to practice self-care, right? Nurture yourself. So you want to make sure that you are managing your energy. And do you have that real sense of urgency? Frankly, we can't afford to screw around because the clock is always ticking, right? I'm recording this. We're almost 2/3 of the way through the first quarter. Where are your goals, right? They get derailed. So this is why we've got to manage our priorities and protect our time really well. Because once you expend it, you can't get it back. It's the most precious non-renewable resource that we have, our time. So can you come to the conclusion of every business day and say, I used my time well? And if not, reflect on what got in your way. I'm a compulsive overscheduler, right? One reason, because I think I'm indestructible. But the other is because, and this was an aha I had yesterday, because I see other people's priorities as more important than my own. Bing, there you go, right there. So once I have that as a, wow, that's a big aha, then it's time to really look at my scheduling again and making sure that I'm only committing to things that really bring me joy, that also are in my zone of genius and that help me grow and where I can add my best value? Or am I taking care of myself in a way that I'm always operating at peak energy? So what I'm really talking about here is managing your environment. Environment is one of the key pillars of success. There are 7 pillars of success. Environment is one of these things that probably doesn't seem that important, but it really is. Here's why. Because when you work alone, right? You work as a solo professional, you're a micro firm owner. We spend a lot of time on our own. And as introverts, we love that. However, we can also then, be a little bit fearful of coming out, and we end up spending too much time alone, or we spend time with people who just don't get us. Most of the world are not entrepreneurs. We're an oddity. So when you say that I've got this project going on, somebody else could tempt you. Oh, you can blow that off. You don't need to put all that time in. No, I do, right? People who call you during the day, hey, what are you doing? I'm working. So you want to make sure your physical environment supports you. Physical environment includes the physical space that you work in, right? So does your office space reflect a successful business owner? And if it doesn't, you have to ask yourself, okay, how can I manage my space, leverage my productivity and the way I naturally work, but also create the kind of space that communicates to me that I am a successful business owner? When you walk into an attorney's office, what do you see? You see things that try to communicate the seriousness of the problems that people bring. We see things that make us feel like this. I need to use my inside voice, right? I need to use a different voice. When you go into a doctor's office, what do you see? You're surrounded by things that communicate health messages to you and communicate how you can take charge of your health, to raise awareness. So think about the physical space that you're in. Does your physical space constantly send you the message of success? This is where vision boards, posters, pictures, windows, I have 2 windows in my office. It's awesome because it helps me connect with nature, which always inspires me. So you want to think about, does my office space communicate that I'm successful? Think about that. So then another big piece of your environment is your emotional environment. This is kind of a crossover with a physical environment. Your emotional environment has to do with the vibe, the emotions that people around you are conveying to you. So if you're around people who are, negative Nancy's, or who I refer to as Eeyores, right? Who it's always, everything's miserable. They find the negative in everything or the danger, right? Then you really want to think about, am I with people who are really supporting me on my journey? So I tell my clients that I'll never kick your butt. Never. It's not my style. I will love you all the way to success, because I'll believe in you when you don't believe in yourself. I get choked up thinking about it. So we have to ask ourselves, are we constantly in a hostile environment? And then what can we do to get out of that environment? This is where I think it's so important to be in groups full of like-minded and like-personalitied people. Not that you want, I only want people to think a certain way, because I like hearing what other people think and thinking about, how they came to that conclusion. That's not what I'm saying is only being with other rigid thinkers, but you want to be around people who are striving, around people who are serving, around people who see you and can see the opportunity and the champion inside of you. If you do not have those people around you, then your cocktail exercise tonight is to think about what changes do you need to make, and who do you need to distance yourself from, right? And often these are the people who are closest to us, our own friends and family, because they just don't get us. So this is why I really believe wholeheartedly that you have to seek out opportunities to be in groups where they get you. I remember in grad school, in grad school had to, like in undergrad, you take all of these foundational courses that everybody has to take in the same program. But then at some point you get to go into your electives, into the specialty areas within your degree program. My master's is in human resources. And I remember the first time I got into an HR course where just about everybody in the room was an HR professional. Man, I felt so good because we all understood each other's problems. We all understood what we were dealing with and what we were working towards. So we were able to share ideas that worked. We were able to encourage each other because we just got each other, right? So again, this is why I think groups are so, so important. So your environment, physical environment and emotional environment, which also touches on your blinked. I love to circle back and respond. I'm going to be sharing links and some resources, things I mentioned, things I thought about mentioning that I want to make sure you have access to. And I'll include links to this week's episode of the Courageous Entrepreneur Show. But if you really want to take this information even deeper, then I'm going to encourage you to attend a free virtual conference that I am hosting on Friday, March 8th. The event is called Lead with Balance. It is, let me see if I can bring this up here too. There we go. Okay. So Lead with Balance is a virtual conference where I have 5 other experts who are coming on, and we're all talking about some element of stepping into leadership, getting our leadership message out in a bigger way. How do you do that? And we'll be touching on almost everything I shared with you today. I'm going to be one of the speakers as well as the host, the master of ceremonies. So this event is free to attend. You can purchase the recordings, of course, so you have them all the time. You can have them in both audio to download and then video to watch. Video is not available for download, but you'll get those along with some handouts to help you take notes and really reflect on things so you can apply them. Because as I said, I am an achievement and implementation strategist for solo professionals. So Lead with Balance, to find that, you're going to go to, let me see. Okay, like I said, I'm using Be Live, and all right, I can't figure out how to do this. Oh, wait, I'll do this. So the address is, it's my website, winnieanderson.com. I have to spell my name right, /lead with balance, all one word, all lowercase. So did I do that right? Show. Okay, so sorry, technology. All right, so winnieanderson.com /lead with balance, free virtual conference focused on helping you get to that next level of success and helping you really bring your whole self. It's not about changing. You're not broken. It's about improving and growing and letting that seed of success inside you take root and grow out. So you're making the impact, the income that you want, and you are really building your business on a strong foundation, and you're able to achieve that next level of success, make that big impact that I know you want to. So, all right, this has been Winnie Anderson. How do I stop this? Okay, this has been Winnie Anderson. As I said, I'm a business achievement and implementation strategist. I work with solo professionals who are ready to get their message out in a bigger way and make the the impact that they dream of while they make the income they deserve. So again, feel free to share this. I hope you will, and ask questions, make comments, and I will catch up with you in another video soon. I hope to see you at the Lead with Balance conference. Bye for now.